Hello and welcome back to another edition of the MCR. My name is Mac. TJ is my co-host this morning, and we are going to talk about how some people never learn. And those people currently that I'm referring to live in Washtenaw County, Michigan. And for those of you who are not in Michigan, which is probably most of our viewing audience, Washtenaw County is the home of Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is home of the University of Michigan. So as you imagine, it's pretty leftist.
West of the Detroit metropolitan area.
Correct. And south of where I live, which is Livingston County, Michigan, and it's very rural and very conservative. I think Trump got some 86% of the vote here, for instance. So they have elected a new sheriff there, and she is a former deputy who ran for sheriff, got elected, and her name is Alicia Dyer. And she looks to be, and I couldn't find her age, but she looks young. She looks to be late 20s, early 30s, if I had to guess, and I'm not a great judge of age. But she ran and got elected on the premise that she is going to fight violent crime through environmental justice. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm wondering what her pronouns are for starters. Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't have that in front of me. But,
and you know, me being a guy, I suppose I might be curious as to her sexual orientation, which is none of my business.
Yet they can't stop telling you about it.
Exactly.
So she is going to run and she's going to fight violent crime with environmental justice, whatever the hell that might be. Is she going to make sure that companies, and I don't believe this is her job as county sheriff to enforce these things, but she is going to prioritize officers' mental health and wellness so that they're doing the right thing, and she's going to be looking at corporate polluters. Now, Michigan has its own version of the EPA, and of course we have the federal EPA. So if she catches me dumping a gallon of oil down the sewer, how does that stop the guy across the street from beating the shit out of his wife? Oh, and by the way, the guy across the street's a great guy, and his wife is great, and they don't beat each other, to the best of my knowledge. So in addition to that, and this is where I want to go with this, really, this DEI thing. After 4 years of DEI, did these people learn nothing? Do some people just never get it? Because she has also announced that she is not, in addition to fighting violent crime with, having DEI people in place. I mean, she's going to judge you by your skin color, judge you by your sexual orientation. And we've seen how that worked out in Los Angeles and Baltimore and all these other places where you got ass clowns that can't. We saw the LA mayor, by the way, look like a complete doofus sitting down with President Trump this past weekend and putting on full display. And I've said this many times on this channel, Trump's greatest attribute is he brings out and shows people, he makes them come out of themselves and show what they really are. And that woman has shown herself as to be a complete dolt. And why people's houses are burned to the ground and they didn't do anything about it because they're worried about who's a lesbian and who's transgender rather than who's safe.
I'm just kind of curious how she won the election. I mean, could there be that many goofballs in what's this? You said Washtenaw County?
Washtenaw County. Well, I can tell you there are. And another thing she's going to do, she's proclaimed she's not going to help ICE. They're not going to cooperate. It's not their job. Well, it is their damn job to enforce the law. And she should resign immediately. In fact, I hope it wouldn't bother me even not one little bit if she was the first sheriff charged with obstruction of justice, where they send in the feds, they arrest her ass, and they charge her with a felony, which, by the way, I do believe would disqualify her from a law enforcement position because she is the sheriff currently there. But here's what they like to do, and this is why this is California on a smaller scale. Well, they get sick of this DEI shit. These people who voted for it, they get sick of it, so they pack up and they move to the county I live in, Livingston County, into a small community like I live in, and they bring their leftist bullshit with them. Then they want to do it here, and they want to elect a goofball sheriff in Livingston County. This is the problem with these people. And this is why, if anyone needs to be resisted and opposed, it's these people. Do everything you can to keep them out of your community.
Well, I've for some time now, I've had a growing concern that Michigan, at a lesser degree, is becoming a wannabe California.
Well, that's my premise of this video, is that let's not do that. We already have Jocelyn Benson, tyrannical bitch that she is, the Secretary of State here, who will decide who can be elected and who can't. She's going to run for governor now to replace the other tyrant.
I hear stuff like this, and I guess I can only hope Michigan turns it around. My fear is they're not.
Well, the labor unions in this state, they're going to back the Democrats, hell or high water. I mean, they back Democrats, and I have long suspected it's a money laundering operation on a much smaller scale that the Biden family may have run. Of course, they're exempt because of the big guy giving them pardons. But the unions in this state, they just funnel money into the Democrat Party. And then the Democrats funnel it back into the unions by giving them guarantees for things. Yeah. So while the UAW is out there voting for Democrats, the same ones who want to get rid of their jobs. Tell me how that serves the membership of the UAW. Please tell me. I'd love to know.
And then in the meantime, they want to set up that Chinese battery facility right in central Michigan there.
To bring in spies.
Yeah.
And to infiltrate the universities, which I would tell you are already Marxist organizations, particularly Michigan and Michigan State.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up with that. I implore the people of Michigan not to go the way of California. We've gotten a bird's eye view of what that can mean to you personally, what a tragedy and disaster it can be for you personally. Picking people by their skin color, picking people by their sexual orientation, picking people by their sexual perversions, so on and so forth. Pick the best person for the job. And I don't know much about her other than the fact that I seriously doubt in that entire sheriff's department she was the best person to be sheriff. I really doubt it.
I would hate to be a sheriff's deputy in that municipality there.
County. Absolutely. Your life isn't worth spit working for this idiot. Yeah. All right, so we'll wrap it up there. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.